Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Mary of Creating with Mary, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you for tuning into this channel. So yes, in Nigeria, the general elections have been concluded and the results have been announced by INEC. This result says APC, with the presidential candidate being Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the winner of this election. Based on my own experience of the election and general observation, this particular election cannot be said to be free and fair, and so I do not expect that this is the final result until all these irregularities are clarified before a final statement from INEC can be taken. So today I'm going to be talking about anxiety. A lot of people, especially in Nigeria, a lot of young people who begin to feel anxious, who begin to experience anxiety as a result of the election or some other things going on in their lives. So today I want us to discuss anxiety. What is anxiety? What are the causes of anxiety, and how can you deal with anxiety if you observe that you have anxiety or been diagnosed with anxiety as a medical condition? What can you do to help yourself? So before we go on further, if you have not subscribed to my channel, this is an invitation for you to join this channel, join this community of people who have the goal of creating the best version of themselves. Click on the subscribe button down below this video and turn on the notification so you don't miss any new upload from me. Like the video and share with your friends. I appreciate the support. Anxiety is a strong desire or concern to do something or for something to happen. You're hoping that something happens. So it's a futuristic feeling. You're feeling ahead of time. You're running away from this moment into the future. That's what anxiety basically is. Remember, you have to stay within the boundaries of what you can control. The future is not yours for control. You can plant into the future, you can water the seeds for the future, but you really don't have a control over how it plays out. Anxiety can also be described as an unease about something with an uncertain outcome. You're not sure how it's going to happen. What are the causes of anxiety? Anxiety can be as a result of past trauma, mostly coming from very negative childhood experiences. It can also be caused by physical or mental health problems. It can also be caused by the current life situation that one is experiencing. Fourthly, it can be a side effect of drug or medication. So how do we deal with anxiety? So you must recognize when you're anxious. When you're anxious, how do you feel? For a lot of people, when they're anxious, they tend to sweat a lot. You tend to sweat all over your body a lot. Some have increased heart rate, so beating faster. Another symptom is restlessness. You just can't rest and you feel tense. All your muscles are tensed up. Those are anxiety symptoms. The very first video I will refer many of my viewers to is this emotional intelligence right here. If you have not yet watched it, please go ahead and watch the video on emotional intelligence. It's important to recognize all the emotions, how they present. Make a journal. We are distinct human beings. How emotions present within my own body may be different from how it presents for another person. So I must recognize what is going on within this body. One of the things to help you deal with anxiety is to journal. Journaling is a very good practice. You journal, how do you feel? Write it down. I feel restless. I feel unable to concentrate about any other thing except this particular matter. An example could be the recently concluded elections in Nigeria. I'm very aware that many young people invested the energy quite a lot on this election. So they may feel, because of the investment of energy and time, that the outcome at the moment is unfair, and then dwell on it for long, and it causes anxiety. So write it down and observe, do any of this feeling that I feel right now, do they fall into the general symptoms of anxiety? The second one is self-care. This is loving up on yourself, taking good care of yourself, body, mind, and spirit. taking care of your health, your physical health, your mental health. How do you do that? Ensure you get adequate sleep, eat proper diet, exercise, move your body, don't stay in one position, and don't be sedentary. Those things don't help anxiety. The third tip is breathing. It's a very simple exercise, but if you practice conscious breathing, when you direct your attention towards your breathing, nothing else is able to occupy your mind at the time. So which is why breathing is a very simple but very powerful technique. So taking deep breaths, hold it for a little bit and concentrate on that breathing. For that moment of breathing, 1 minute, 2 minutes, let your whole being observe that breathing. You realize that it reduces anxiety in that moment, and you can consciously do these practices of breathing consciously so that anxiety can reduce in your body. The fourth one is gratitude. Gratitude is a recurring tip for most of the issues I've discussed on this channel. There's an admonition in the scriptures that says, be anxious for nothing, but in all things giving thanks. Anxiety is a human condition that we have the tendency to become anxious. What went well? Hold on to those thoughts of the things that went well. Give thanks consciously for those things that went well. And even for the things that didn't go well, give thanks. Let gratitude take it up. In my own experience, I found that gratitude is part of what has translated my life into this best version that I'm currently experiencing. I mean, gratitude literally translated me to another plane of living. A total mindset shift. Gratitude. The fifth one is limit exposure to news and social media. Once you understand your own personal circumstance, what level you can afford to take in, don't go beyond it. Limit exposure to news, especially this political news and analysis in this season, because it may trigger more anxiety within you if you're already anxious about the outcome of the future. So limit your exposure to news and social media discussions around whatever is the thing that is causing anxiety for you. For the Nigerian youth in this season, it should be the election result and the election generally. You can try to set a personal discipline that this is how many minutes per day or how many hours per day I'll be exposed to the news. And if you can discipline yourself so that the other part of the day is spent on things that will not cause you anxiety but will lessen your anxiety and will help you to get over it and move on to this creation of the best version of self. That's what we are about in this channel, to create the best version of ourselves regardless of the external events happening. We are a reflection of our society. If you feel that corruption is the order of the day, that is because a lot of us are corrupt internally. That's what it is. But when you see righteousness taking over a land, it means there are more persons experiencing righteousness on the inside than there is on the outside. So that's how we create the best version of society, by creating the best version of ourselves. These are the 5 tips that will help you to deal with anxiety. The disclaimer, I'm not a medical practitioner. I only share some of these tips that have helped me to manage my own mental health over the course of time. But if you find that you've tried out some of these tips and you see that you're not getting relief, you should seek professional help. Seek professional help. There are mental health professionals that will help get you through this problem. I thank you so much for watching. If you're not yet subscribed, kindly click on the subscribe button down below this video. Like the video and share with a friend. I appreciate your support in growing this channel. Until the next one, I'll see you.